All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Daily Meditation. This is our second day with Christine Kupfer, who's leading us this week on the theme of doubt. If you're joining us for the first time, you can catch the recording from yesterday in the Dharma Library section of the Sangha Live website. And you can also peruse all the different recordings from Sangha Live for the last few years. We're using the chat to say hi, to introduce yourselves to everyone if you're new. Very warm welcome to you. Our session runs for an hour. We have 10 to 15 minutes of talk, guidance, and then we have about 30 minutes, 25 minutes of practice. And then there's time at the end to ask questions or to dialogue with Christine or share a reflection. And there are two ways that you can do that. You either can use the raise a hand icon at the bottom of your screen. You'll see there's a little hand. Or you can type a question in the chat, which is asked that you write question in the front of your question. So we can sort those out from the rest of the comments. And the other thing to say is that if you haven't encountered the principle of dana yet, if you're new to Buddhism or mindfulness practice, that is the principle of generosity. The idea is really giving without expecting anything in return, which is sort of a radical concept in today's economy because we're used to always sort of pricing things and figuring out how much we can get for our money. And the idea of dana is that the teachings are given freely with the teacher, with Christine, Sangha Live's time, all the work that goes into running this platform. And then the idea is that the community also gives in return. And we just keep the sort of ball rolling in that way. So we very much appreciate your donations. They are shared between Sangha Live and Christine this week. And you've got until Friday to donate, and you can donate on sangha.live/donate. I see that I've actually lost Christine, so I'll have to give you a moment to call her and find out where she is. So maybe you can take a few moments to practice patience while I figure this out. Thanks. Okay, Alela.
So I hope it's
okay. We're live now. Can you turn on your micro? Okay, we have her. She's back. Oh. Okay, welcome back, Christine. I've already introduced you. You missed it. So I'll hand over to you now. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope you can hear me, everyone. Yeah. And that this won't happen again because we had technical problems and my internet it doesn't seem to work very well. So we will see. So welcome back. Today we will continue our exploration of doubt as a hindrance, or as I call it, neurotic doubt. And so yesterday, before our meditation, I exposed a few general ideas about what is a hindrance and doubt in particular. So doubt as a hindrance in Buddhism is called a hindrance because it hinders the proper functioning of the mind. It sabotages, it burdens, it obstructs our mind's good functioning. And the good news is that we can learn how to work with doubt, and it gives us great power to learn how to work with doubt. And so, as I exposed yesterday, the Buddha outlined 5 different steps to work with doubt and to free oneself from doubt. And today, we're going to look into the 2 first steps. So just to recap, the first step is, if doubt is present, one knows there is doubt in me. Step 2, if doubt is not present, one knows doubt is not present in me. So first step is about identifying doubt. How does one know that doubt is here? So sometimes it's very obvious. And when it's operating in others, it's even more obvious and easier to see. When it is operating in us, on the surface, it might seem obvious because we're hesitating and neurotically trying to choose the direction. But on a deeper level, it's much more difficult to identify what's going on. And it's difficult to identify because doubt has become a pattern of mind, and it's so familiar. We're so hung up on trying to figure things out, thinking neurotically, fixatedly, fearfully, obsessively. So the whole pattern goes unnoticed, also because we're believing the thoughts that we are thinking. So to identify doubt on a deeper level, what's underlying doubt, we need to become more mindful of the thoughts that we are thinking. So certain thoughts don't give us the right perspective. We don't see clearly, we don't think clearly, we don't understand things clearly. And as I said yesterday, the Buddha compared doubt to mud. And when we're doubting, it's as if like we're stirring up the mud. In the Dvedavitaka Sutta, the Buddha recounts his own experience before his awakening. he says, monks, whatever a monk frequently thinks and ponders upon, that will become the inclination of his mind. So the Buddha divided his thoughts into two categories: wholesome thoughts and unwholesome thoughts. Wholesome thoughts were the ones beneficial to his spiritual development. Unwholesome thoughts were the ones detrimental to his spiritual development. And he explained that the more we focus on wholesome thoughts, the more our mind is free. And on the other hand, the more we focus on unwholesome thoughts, the more we will reinforce those thoughts. And then that becomes our way of thinking, our pattern of mind. So unwholesome thoughts pave the way to neurotic doubt. They are the poison. So we need to go backstage and inquire into doubt. We need to inquire into the thoughts we're thinking when we're in the midst of doubting. And we need to see how they impact the body, the heart, the mind. And we need to discern if these thoughts that we are thinking are wholesome or unwholesome. When doing so, when we're detecting that a thought is unwholesome, it softens our belief in the thought. We are starting to see through the thought, through doubt, and how its mechanism works. So let's see for ourselves. Let's inquire. So a few words on inquiry. In Buddhism, a certain category of doubt is also considered to be very precious and a vehicle for liberation. It's a completely different sort of doubt. With this sort of doubt, we are stepping into inquiry. We could call it inquiring doubt. We start doubting about the veracity of our thoughts. We don't take them for granted. We use doubt to start inquiring into our conditionings and into our beliefs. To free ourselves from doubt, we need to question, we need to wonder, we need to investigate. So we use doubt to inquire into doubt. And we need to see the truth for ourselves. So let's see for ourselves. Let's practice identifying doubt and how it works. So for the purpose of our topic, let's take a moment to identify doubt by bringing a situation in your life where you are doubting, where doubt is or was present. So for this practice, you can lie down or sit or even stand up, whatever is comfortable for this exploration. So when you have found a good position where you are comfortable, allow a situation where you are doubting to come to your mind. Notice the hesitation. You don't know if you should do this or that. There is undecisiveness, and it feels uncomfortable. You have a sense that this is about neurotic doubt. So don't take too long in finding a situation. What comes up to your mind? It could be something as simple as looking for a present for someone you love, and you want it to be just right. Or perhaps you want to tell someone something, and you know that what you have to say is not very comfortable, and maybe the person won't necessarily take it well. So you are scared of the consequences, and you're hesitating of saying something or nothing. Or perhaps it's something more important, like you want to buy a house or something. And there are a lot of parameters to that. It involves costs and many other things. So you're just hesitating because of the implications. Or it could also be that you're in a big transition in your life and you are pondering about changing jobs, getting married. It could also be a situation where you are full of self-doubt. You doubt about your capacities. You don't believe that you have what it takes. So now pause and take a moment to arrive in your body. Slow down. Take a moment to arrive in the situation of doubt. Take a moment to remember the different parameters that are here. And now take a step back. And so this is the first question of inquiry. How do you know that doubt is here? How do you know that doubt is here? So I will go on with this inquiry with a list of questions, and just don't get too disturbed with the questions. Just let them float through your experience and see what comes up. When you're with this situation of doubt, what are the qualities of your mind right here? When you are with this situation of doubt, what does doubt say? Can you identify some thoughts? What is the narrative? And when you are thinking in this way, when you're caught in this narrative, how does it impact your body? Are there different parts of the body that are activated? Whatever is here, sense into that. Just acknowledging. Acknowledging whatever is here in the body. And when you are in this situation of doubt, how does it impact how you are feeling? Can you acknowledge some emotions there? Whatever is here, feel into that. Just acknowledging. And now, going even deeper. What does your inner wisdom have to say about the situation? So don't try to find the answer of this question with your mind. Just see what if something comes up. What does your inner wisdom have to say about this situation of doubt? Okay. And now take a breath and a long expire. And another breath and another long expire. And a third one. And take your time to come out of this inquiry. You can stretch a little. And if you wish, you can write a few words in the chat, but not more than a sentence, about perhaps some insights or what came up for you. So, as I see that our time is flying by, let me see if there's something in the chat. For the moment, I don't see anything. So, let me see. I think I will move on to step 2.
Christine, there are a few that have come through.
Oh yeah, thank you. So I read, it was profound, doubt feels constricting, tense, freezes. Claire says, doubt you will fail, wisdom you might not as well, and if yes, it is just a way to learn. Dullness, heaviness, bewilderment, so many decisions about which I feel neurotic doubt. A sense of hopelessness in the situation and a bodily fatigue. I cut off feeling. I was very struck about how compulsive the nature of doubt was. False conviction that there is a right answer and I can find it. Swimming sensation in my head. Yeah. Okay, sorry about the interference with the sound. Yeah. So thank you for your sharings. Yeah, so this is really the first step, to acknowledge how when doubt is present and how it works, how it impacts us. And so now let's move on to the second step. Just a few words so that we have time for meditation. So I know that this inquiry we just did is not pleasant, but this is the way we get to know that doubt is here. And so the second step is, if doubt is not present, one knows doubt is not present in me. So just a few words on that. Doubt is not always present. Doubt comes and goes. It is not a permanent state. Like all states, it is impermanent and fleeting. It doesn't feel that way. When it's there, at least for me, it feels like it is there to stay. So it may help to see doubt as a visitor. You can invite that visitor for tea, but you don't have to live with the visitor forever. Doubt will pass. When we say I doubt all the time, we are fixating on doubt. Doubt tends to draw us in ignorance, and we overlook states of peace and happiness when doubt is not here. Sometimes, I'm sure you've noticed that, our mind is clear and open like the sky. We have insights and intuitions. Our mind is peaceful. So it is important, as the Buddha says, to identify and appreciate how our mind functions when it is free from doubt. It develops our taste for a free mind. It develops confidence. It too will pass. So then, when doubts arises, perhaps we can hold onto the experience more lightly. So, as I see that time is passing, I'd like to stop speaking. And let's meditate. So here goes the bell. Finding our seat. Finding our ground. This is so helpful when we are in the grip of doubt. Coming back to simplicity. Coming back to the simplicity of touch. Body on the ground. The sensation of body on the ground. Feet on the floor. Butt on the cushion or on the chair. And finding our verticality. Growing up towards the sky. There's something in the posture that expresses confidence. So our spine is expressing this verticality. And also it is alive. And now let's shift our attention towards the belly. And the lower belly. This place where life is originated. The place of presence, deep confidence. Right here, at the center of our body. Sensing how the breath is coming and going. In the belly. Pressing against our clothes, perhaps. Sensing the naturalness of breath coming and going. Settling here. settling here in belly confidence. We are present. Right here. Sitting like a mountain. Steady, weighty, present. Loving presence right here. And if your attention is pulled away by thoughts, you can ask yourself, is this a wholesome or an unwholesome thought? And if it's a wholesome thought, you can just let it go for now, since we're meditating. And you can perhaps remember it lately. And if you identify the thought as an unwholesome thought, just let it go. You don't need to believe it. Just let it go. Let it pass. And gently bring back your attention to the simplicity of presence, body breathing, body hearing. Our mind open like the sky. Everything just streaming through. Our heart is open. Our attention is loving, caring, embracing. And in these last minutes of meditation, let's notice the good that is here, shifting our attention towards what is okay right here, what is good. Perhaps it is very easy to see, or perhaps it is more subtle. the goodness to be alive right here. The simple miracles of breathing, sensing, hearing, appreciating those simple miracles.
Hopefully people heard my bell. Christine, your microphone seems to be muted, or I can't hear you.
How about now? Can you hear me? Ah, okay. So it's working? Now let's see. I guess I'm back. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
So I'm sorry about this. It seems like today the connection is very unstable. So I was reading Caroline's interest in the difference between neurotic doubt and taking the time to make a good decision rather than jumping to end the uncomfortableness of not knowing. So yes, Caroline, I really do believe it's important to make the difference, and I probably will talk about this in one of the next days. Sometimes we just don't want to feel how uncomfortable it is. And also, I would say that our culture really promotes decision making, and we should know all the time what we want to do. And so, yes, sometimes we just need to slow down, and because it's a process, and we need to go with the process. A bit like when we're waiting for a baby. It just takes time. It needs maturing. So yeah, not knowing, we don't know what's going to come out of this yet because we're not there yet. Yeah, so I'll talk about this another day. Agnes writes, doubt can be a limit to decisions, to self-esteem, but no doubt can also be a problem in the sense that it could lead to be so oversure that there is no questioning about what we do and think. So as always, it's a balance between no doubt that could refrain us and good doubt that helps us moving on and being open to others to discuss our decisions. Yes, I totally agree with what you're saying, Agnes. So this is the helpful doubt that questions what we are thinking. So yes, thank you for that it's important. Josie writes, I often make impulsive decisions to try to stop the discomfort of doubt, which leads to regret and more neurosis, an endless cycle of anxiety. Yes. Yes, Josie. I understand what you're saying. So we'll come back to this. We really need to learn how to discern what kind of doubt is here. And I think we'll end right here for today. Thank you all. Go peacefully through the day. I'm really sorry about the technical problems, and I hope tomorrow will be better. Thank you all.